Alright, guys, let's talk about Troll from 1986, which is a really underrated, awesome ass horror, I guess horror movie. It's like a horror fantasy movie. I don't think, more to think about it, I don't think this is really much of a horror movie at all. I just think it's a bizarre piece of 80s cheese that is really entertaining and really fun, and directed by John Carl Buechler, who unfortunately passed away, like, I think either a couple weeks ago to a month ago. And again, it's sad I didn't get to watch this on the day he died. I wanted to just because I really do enjoy his work, like this movie and Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. And he did a lot of other ones as well that I'm blanking on, but he was a good director, and he really, in terms of effects, he was incredible. So R.I.P. Like, really, he really was a great guy, it seemed like, even though I never met him. So Troll from 1986, the Harry Potter before Harry Potter existed. So I want to bring that point up. This is a movie from 1986. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was, I think, completed and released in 91 or 90. There's a character in this movie called Harry Potter Jr. His dad's name is Harry Potter, but he's Harry Potter Jr., the kid from Neverending Story who, like, was with the horse, Artax. The kid who watched the horse die, like his friend horse die in that movie. But that actor plays Harry Potter Jr. in this. Now, this is a movie about a character named Harry Potter Jr. that finds a magical troll and stops the magical troll. I wonder if it does not make sense. If I don't know if anybody has asked J.K. Rowling if she has ever watched this movie or heard of this movie, because this has so many similarities to Harry Potter. It's kind of weird. And I love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is one of my favorite things ever in terms of movies and books. But it's just so astounding that, like, we have this movie about a character named Harry Potter Jr. fights a troll who uses some magic, kind of, because of his elderly neighbor who helps him out. But it seems very much just like Harry Potter in a way. J.K. Rowling, do you have some secrets to tell us? And all joking aside, I love J.K. Rowling and I love everything she's done. I love Harry Potter, but I just had to point that out. That's a really funny coincidence, I guess. And it's also a Charles Band production, this movie, which is pretty cool. And I really want to point out the casting in this movie. Michael Moriarty is awesome. He was also in The Stuff, I think, the next year after, 87? Or is it 85? It's 85 or 87 The Stuff came out. Which year did The Stuff come out? Somebody tell me down below. But I love The Stuff. I thought that was a great movie I watched recently for the first time. But Michael Moriarty as the dad is awesome. And he has that hilarious, awesome, memorable dance scene. It's really funny and really entertaining. And also, we've got a famous person in this movie who went on to do other things and ignores that this movie exists. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who plays Jeanette, who becomes a nymph in the movie, and flutters around and laughs a lot. And there's actually a thing in real life where she was on a talk show with, I forgot which person, but there is one talk show she was on where the guy put on a clip from this movie with her in it, and she was visibly angry, like, on the footage. Like, she looked pissed like that they brought up this movie, because she's like, I don't want anybody to know that I was in this movie, because she probably thinks it's beneath her. Even though I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus, but I don't know if she is very fond of this movie. Like a lot of horror, like a lot of people who start in horror kind of shun horror away, or like fantasy like this. Horror fantasy, I guess. I don't even know if I should really call this horror. It's a weird, like, I don't know. I really don't know what to call this. But the basic plot of this movie is that a troll starts taking people into another dimension, turning them into, like, trolls or nymphs or trees or plants, you name it, just anything nature. And he pretends to be Wendy Ann, which is the daughter of this family who moves into this apartment. and the little girl has a great performance. I really like a great performance as in a silly performance. It's so fun. Like when she's acting, whenever it's the troll pretending to be her and the troll's acting crazy, where he just screams, "I'm Godzilla!" and like just random stuff like that. Um, or like how she just screams rat burgers and she just grabs somebody and goes rat burgers and just grabs him by the shirt. That's so funny, and her performance is so memorable as pretending to be the troll who is pretending to be her. That's really funny. She has such a great performance in this. And all these side characters are really, really funny as well. The neighbor having sex with all the prostitutes that gets turned into a tree is really funny. Where the dad and him are having a conversation, and he says, something's going on," and then the guy just goes, "Shit," and then he just walks away. I forgot what the exact line is before he says shit, but he says something. Michael Moriarty says something to the guy, and he's like, "Shit!" Like his reaction is so hilarious. And the one guy wearing headphones when the fire alarm is going off, and he takes off his headphones and screams, "Fire!" Like that's so memorable too. And the character Malcolm Mallory, who wants to be an elf and becomes one, who is a I don't want to say like a little person. Like I don't want to say that, but he plays the troll as well. He plays the role of Malcolm Mallory in the troll. And this guy, his character in this movie, Malcolm Mallory, is actually, wow, this is actually dramatic in this movie. There's a actual dramatic moment where this guy, you realize Malcolm, this little guy, is literally dying every day, about to die, and he always dreamed as a kid that he'd become a troll or become like an elf. He wished that he was an elf. He wished that he could escape from dying. And that's actually really emotional, actually really sad in this silly-ass movie, but they've got this emotional moment with him saying how he's dying. Like, it actually is really effective. And then, of course, the troll turns him into an elf, so he has no diseases anymore. He's a magical being now. But it's weird. There's this emotional moment in between this silly-ass movie that's actually really effective. Like, it actually works very well. And then I like Mrs. Sinclair, the character who is secretly a witch and an adversary to Torek the Troll, because they were getting married. And then, I don't remember the backstory, but like something happens to where he takes like a magic item, the ring, and then like he becomes he does evil things. And she has this creepy mushroom head in her house as well that talks and is really disturbing. It's really creepy. It's unintentionally scary, that mushroom head. And she's also a smartass, but she's so endearing too. Again, I love how all these characters are so silly, but they're so memorable in this movie. They're all memorable in how goofy they are. And I know people can argue, oh, that means it's a bad movie because it's not like these characters are not very well written, but I don't care. I like their performances. I think all these characters have great performances. There's so many fun scenes in this, like the scene where the creatures are singing a song that's very operatic. That's really fun. Like, it's really, really funny. And I love how Mrs. Sinclair, Eunice, she has such, again, I want to talk about how much of a smartass she was. Whenever Harry Potter Jr. comes up to her, knocks on the door, and she opens it up and she says, I know that knock. It was very prepubescent. And I just sat there like, what? And then whenever the dad and Michael Moriarty, the dad, and Mrs. Sinclair are talking, she literally for no reason out of any context just says, do you know why they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima? And it's so funny because it is so jarringly out of nowhere that it just cracks me up. There's no in-between of like, how do we get to this conversation about dropping the bomb on Hiroshima? It was not related beforehand. So I love that as well. And then at the end of the movie, she turns young for some reason. Like, she becomes young and beautiful again. Well, I don't get it. Like, is it because they lost the older actors? Like, she did all her work and didn't want to come back for more? Or, I don't get it. it's so weird that like she's this older woman at the whole movie until the end, and then she's a younger person. Why? Like, but again, that makes it. This movie has such charm to it that I don't care. That's really fun. And then we got that kind of climax, which is fun, where like Wendy Ann is like in the Snow White kind of chamber where like she's sleeping for good, and like the giant troll like Harry Potter Jr. has to save her, and he does. But at the end of the movie, it still seems like the troll's gonna keep going on, but I like the climax too. The climax is really fun. And again, this is just a really memorable movie for me because of the 80s cheese, the fun, the acting is really over the top, but it's so silly and funny. And all these actors are funny involved. They're all great and all interesting and just all very fun. And the effects are really good. John Carl Buechler directed this. Like I said, he's really great, and he does a great job directing it and creating effects. The effects are so not dated. They're so great still today. I love them. So I really love Troll rewatching it. I think this is a fun, underrated piece of 80s cheese. This is so incredibly fun. So bizarre, but so fun. I love this movie. So tell me down below what you think of the original Troll from 1986. And I will review Troll 2, don't you worry. It's coming. So tell me down below what you think of this movie, and thank you guys so much for watching.